Hello there. This is Ken from Julie's 9:30 Tuesday AM meeting, and I thought I would actually do a little cooking video for you about how I'm using the new 0 point noodles. They're like Asian noodles, so I'm cooking Asian today, and we'll go through the ingredients and how I prep them, talk about cooking them, and then show you how yummy it is when I'm done. Okay, here are your ingredients. This is partway through my mise en place, which means getting the stuff ready so that you don't burn the other stuff while you're trying to figure out what to do with the stuff you didn't put in the pan already. But in French, it's mise en place. There are the 0 point noodles. You want to drain the moisture off of them. I didn't realize how much there was till I threw them in and had a soup last time. There are some snow pea pods. If you look at one end of them, you'll see I pinch the hard end off. I use my fingernails because I'm a guy that likes to keep fingernails a little bit because they're humanity's first tool and they come in handy as screwdrivers and pea pod pinchers. Then we have our shrimp. These are from Fred Meyer. They are deveined and I have peeled them. When they devein them, what they're pulling out is the poop line. Yes, that's true. So you want to get the deveined ones because that takes a skill that I don't have. That also means they've sliced the shell. So to peel them, you grab the little legs and you pull the shell off. And then sometimes you got to twist the end of the tail to get that part off. I've cooked them with them on like fancy restaurants do, but if you want the flavor of what you're cooking to get into the shrimps, you got to take the peel off. Now these are two ingredients that I will be doing a little extra prep on. That is one fresh garlic clove. That is a chunk of fresh ginger root. I put that just about anything Asian I cook because you can't have too much ginger or garlic in your food anyway. Then over here we have a ½ teaspoon of sesame oil and a bottle. I will be using 2 tablespoons of Kroger pad thai sauce. I couldn't find any other brand of pad thai sauce, so we're using the Kroger. And since my wife baked a coconut cake for the auction tonight, we'll be using coconut oil on the pan. Now this is the pan. It's one of these orange ceramic no-stick pans that they sell by the checkout counter at Fred Meyer. Darned if it doesn't work. I've seen this pan baked black with sausage grease. I take some warm water and a paper towel and I clean it out. It doesn't need a lot of oil. The first time I cooked this, I used like a tablespoon of olive oil because I'm used to using olive oil when I cook. This time we're trying to keep the points down, so we're just going to go with a spray of the coconut oil. And then just before I toss in my noodles and stuff, I'm going to toss in a sesame oil, ginger, and garlic mixture that I will put in that spoon. Just to add a little extra flavor beyond what the corporate people at Kroger thought pad thai should taste like. Oh, and then the last thing, 2 cents. This is 2 cents of peanuts from the bulk peanut area. My daughter has a peanut allergy, so we don't keep them around the house. It's not a bad peanut allergy, so we can have them then once in a while. You got to have them on the top. And the one thing I don't have here that I will have before I start cooking is some dried red pepper flakes, because you need those to give your pad thai some heat. So that's the general prep. I will grate the ginger root on this, and I will use this lovely little garlic press here. You put the clove inside and squeeze real hard, and that will squeeze me out some garlic, and we'll put that in the oil. And so the first thing I did was preheat my pan. I'm going to turn it back on. I've learned that not giving your time to heat your pan is what messes up most things, including pancakes. Because what happens with pancakes is you turn it on, it gets warm enough, the first pancake's perfect, but then it's too high and the next pancake is black. So if you turn it on low and wait, you tend to get better cooking temperatures. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of this on the pan. This is the coconut spray. I'm looking at it. Calories from fat, 0, 1/4 tablespoon. So I'm calling this 0 points. This is coconut, people. I could be wrong, but 0 points. That is going into my warm pan. The next thing I'm going to do is you need to cook the shrimps. The shrimps take a while to cook because they start off all gray like that. Matter of fact, if you see them pink in the bag after they've been in the fridge, get rid of them because I don't think that's questionable. These I've had for 2 days. They're still expiration date, but today was the day to cook them. But you've got your pan hot and your coconut oil. You're going to cook these guys until they turn pink. And you want to take this really translucent sort of slimy look. You don't want it to go completely solid white because then it's too dry. It's sort of just before the shrimp is solid white. At that point they will be cooked and we will be pouring in our noodles, our pods, and our flavorings and heating up the noodles with the shrimps in them and the flavorings and stirring those all together. So let's start with the shrimp. And pan's warm, so we've got a nice sizzle there. Use the fingers. I am sorry this is shaky. My hands shake. That's just the nature of it. Always has been. I will be back when the shrimps have been cooked and we're ready to start dumping stuff in, and that'll probably be about 5-6 minutes from now. Bye. Okay, I thought I'd show you. I don't use a lot of the ginger. See, it's just a layer on the grating. I will use my finger to sort of corral that down to the corner and then put it into the spoon with the sesame. And then I'm going to go ahead and crush the garlic. But I thought you'd see how little it is. I'll tell you a hint. They want to sell you a big giant ginger root that you could cook a banquet with. Just break off a piece. They'll sell it to you by the ounce. Like I said, I went to the bulk section and bought 2 cents worth of peanuts because I didn't need a whole can of peanuts just to have peanut topping on my pad thai. Alright, just flipped my shrimps. This one probably needs to be flipped right. It was sitting funny. But basically, the gray side is down and the pink side is up, and these are getting close to cooked. And I'm only cooking here at like 3.5. You don't need to cook the pan up to blazing hell or anything like that to cook these shrimps. They'll overcook. Just nice and low. And again, I'm not using any oil because I got this great ceramic pan that's not a gimmick. It actually works. Sorry for the shaky hands again. And a little bit of that coconut spray. Alright, change of plan here. I just pressed the garlic and the ginger right on top of that shrimp. I'm going to put the sesame seed oil in. And then I'm going to stir it around real quick just to add that sort of flavoring to the shrimp. And then we'll get ready to dump the noodles in. So I'll be right back. Okay, the shrimps are coated with the sesame oil. I've got ginger and garlic in there. And the final step is to reach over here, take my noodles and my pea pods, because I want to cook them about the same time, and dump them in there. Like that. Now the noodles are pre-cooked. I've already cooked them once. They hold up pretty well to the heat. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and sort of spread them around like that. Let them cool things down because I don't want my shrimp to overcook while I'm basically heating my noodles and just barely heating and cooking the pods. And maybe they'll be undercooked, but last time they were overcooked. The last thing I need to do is go to this. This stuff is 2 tablespoons, 4 points, but it's yummy. So we're going to go 2 points. And 4 points. And the trick is to make sure the noodles are drained, because if there's too much moisture, it deletes this stuff. So at that point, I have all my ingredients. And what I want to do right now is just stir this around really good and let it heat up. And I'll be back in a second for the plating, but we are almost to pad thai here. Just need to heat up the noodles and get everything hot again after they cooled the pan. You can hear my sizzle's gone away. I need my sizzle back. Well, I still got my sizzle. All right, here we are. Last ingredient, crushed red pepper. My wife loves Penzi spices, and they're getting a store in someplace in Montlake Terrace real soon. So anyway, this is seasoned to taste. I like things warm, so that's That's pretty warm once you stir it in there. Probably right there. Anything more is going to be getting really hot. We will stir that around. We'll put the peanut topping on it, and I'll be back. All right, first of all, real trick here. Use a salad plate, not my big dinner plate, so the meal looks bigger. But look at that. I got green. The pods have gotten bright green, which is when they're just that nice crispy cooked. The shrimp don't look overcooked to me. Everything looks fine. To finish it off, the last thing I need to do is take the bag of peanuts that I crushed. I just pounded on them with something. And then I got to find the hole I made in the bag, which should be easier than this. There's my bag and my hole. There we go. Up everywhere all over the stove. Okay, we've got cleanup. But now we've got crispy peanut topping on the pad thai and the stove and the floor. And there you go. Pod, 0 points. Noodles, 0 points. Shrimp is about 2.5 points. I think I got a half a pound and I tossed 1 or 2 out. And I took the shells off, so that's probably 2 points. Pad thai sauce, 4 points. So basically we've got, and then we've got a half of the sesame seed oil for flavor. You could leave that out for a point. So we've got all here, say, 4 points of sauce, 3 points of shrimp. Let's say the sesame seed oil and the little bit of peanuts works out to about another point. So that's about 8 points, maybe 9, depending if you get all your peanuts on the plate, which I did not do. Anyway, bon appetit. The noodles are good. Happy Weight Watchers.